Yeah, feels good.
Feels great. Broncos win. Are you kidding me? I know. Just Cincinnati, but damn it, it feels good. Feels good to be a gangster. The Broncos get it done. 28-3, added 28-10. So close enough. Big night for the Denver Broncos. Here to celebrate, here to talk about it all. Here to take a crap on all the Bo Nix haters out there, all the Bo Nix doubters out there, all those who did not believe in Bo Nix. Well, you can get on to somewhere else, that's for sure. Believing in Bo Nix was the way to go for the Denver Broncos, and they get it done against the Cincinnati Bengals. Yep, I know. Some out there are going to say it's just the Bengals. Okay, that's fine. But when you have a bad team, do you know what a good team does when a bad team comes to town? They kick the crap out of them. The Denver Broncos do that tonight against the Cincinnati Bengals, and it was glorious. Welcome into Orange and Blue today, Postgame Live. I am Cecil Lammey, and I'm contemplating having another Mountain Dew Zero specifically, because what a night. Feels great for the Broncos to get this win in this manner, and we are going to go through it all. First and foremost, it is a big shout out to JK Dobbins. All right, round of applause for JK Dobbins, because the streak of no 100-yard rushers is over, ends at 38. So we don't ever have to say Latavius Murray even played for the Denver Broncos again, if we don't want to, because J.K. Dobbins gets it done on 16 carries, 101 yards, no touchdowns in this one, but hey, that's all right. 28-3, right? So you do your damage in the first half. You kind of, I'm not going to say coast in the second half, but you just kind of make work of it. It wasn't a perfect game by any means, even with Bo Nix and 326 yards. And I know I'm going to, thumb my nose at the Bo Nix doubters, mainly Mike Evans. But, I mean, this is fantastic. This is exactly what you want from this team when you face a bad team and you run the ball. So, and yes, I know it's Cincinnati, but Sean Payton said that they would have an identity. Okay, well, what is it? Because it's 326 yards passing for Bo Nix, and as a team, it's 186 yards on the ground, including that beautiful 16-yard run from Marvin Mims, getting his rushing touchdown. Bo Nix got a rushing touchdown there as well. Love seeing RJ Harvey come in, show some electricity. 14 carries, 58 yards for Harvey, and then 4 for 40 and a receiving touchdown. So you'll love to see that as he pushes for 100 all-purpose yards and a touchdown from the rookie. You had the Broncos show up tonight. And again, not a perfect game. I think one of the best things we can take away, and, well, my Gatorade is frozen, so I'm going to break into this Mountain Dew. I'm not sleeping tonight. Check out Dover and Cecil tomorrow at 10 a.m. And, I'll probably be drinking more Mountain Dew. Anyway, the best thing tonight that you can say is they won easily, and they didn't play a perfect game, like not even close. The flags were annoying as all day long. This game could have been over an hour ago. And I'm being sarcastic. Don't at me, bro. But, like, seriously, this game could have been done an hour ago, and all the flags, they're probably going to throw a flag on me right now, just based off tonight's performance from the officiating crew. All right, not great, Bob. Whatever. I look at this as a big win for the Denver Broncos. I see this as a big positive. And yes, it's without Joe Burrow. And yes, it's the Bengals. I've said that now 3 times in less than 5 minutes. I'm not going to say it much more because I'm not going to hear it. I'm not going to tolerate it. And not because I'm going to blow bubbles at Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos, but just because, like, when you have a bad opponent in town, you got to take care of business. And that's exactly what the Broncos did. We should celebrate that. I'm going to play a lot of PUBG tonight. Anyway, we should celebrate that for the Denver Broncos and celebrate the momentum that is now created in a game that wasn't perfect and you still won going away. In a game where you didn't play perfect, but you scored plenty of points. You had definite flashes and big plays on both sides of the ball, and there's things to work on. In fact, I could easily make the argument that this sort of game, this type of game against Cincinnati, because it's 28-3. Tell me in the chat room, what do you think it would be? I mean, it could have been 45-3, 70-3. Get crazy with that. I don't care. Just tell me. What do you think it would have been had they played a perfect game? Had they been sharper? And yes, Bo had hit a deep shot in this game. Like, yeah, they could have dropped 45 tonight, and they just kind of called off the dogs. They emphasized the ground game and just get out of this thing with staying healthy, get your win, and you move on to Philadelphia next, which is going to be a very, very interesting test for the Denver Broncos. Not overlooking the Bengals and knowing what this team was, they are in big time trouble. The Broncos, they're going to be all right. And Bo Nix, he's going to be all right. I don't want to hear anything about Jarrett Stidham. I don't want the name Jarrett Stidham to be uttered at all whatsoever. I don't want anyone to bring up Todd McShay and his horrible, he's a third-round pick grade on Bo Nix. Terrible. All of this is nonsense. I know we live in a Twitter world and we live in a microwave society and everything's now. But there are things you need to be patient with. Bo Nix still with a 326-yard game, couple of touchdowns, one INT. You know, it was fourth down, trying to make a play. It was a bad throw. I'm sure he'd love to have that back, but I'm not going to rag on Bo Nix for that interception in particular. But I just look at it and go, okay, things are a little bit rougher this year with more introduction of other things in this offense. It was nice to see things clicking at times. Evan Ingram clicking at times. The ground game definitely was clicking. Cortland Sutton definitely was clicking. Troy Franklin, still some misses there between the two Oregon teammates. And, of course, Marvin Mims getting it done as well. Pat Bryant with some great blocking out there. And if you can block, you can get the rock. So hopefully that comes for the rookie here in the near future. But tonight is a celebration. So I'm not going to hear anything else about anything about this opponent and what the Broncos, couldn't do against better teams. You had a bad team and you beat them handily. And I'm excited about that. And again, this is something that I had them winning in this fashion. Now that was against Joe Burrow, but I had this team at 3-1. They're 2-2 now. You go into Philadelphia where I had them 3-2 after that game, and you win that game, then you're 3-2 on the season, and you're moving along the right way for this Broncos team. But again, just kind of a praise for the offensive performance. Going to get some defensive MVPs in here as well. Going to look at the chat room. Chat, what are you saying? Are you dunking on the Bo haters? Are you dunking on, the Bo doubters out there? Because, well, you should be. And they need to pipe down and they need to watch. Just watch and learn. Watch Bo Nix learn. We're watching him learn on the job, and it's fascinating because, again, it's still not clean. It's still not a perfect game, and it's likely to never be perfect. Although Bo Nix last week on Thursday said that was something like he thinks he can do it, like have a perfect game. And that's interesting. We talked about it on OBT. So, yes, it is a fantastic game for the Denver Broncos. It's one we all should feel good about. We should all know that this team going forward, they're going to play much tougher opponents, but confidence, momentum, this is a good team. I know this is a good team. And it has nothing to do with my 13-win, guesstimation for the Denver Broncos, prediction for the Broncos, and everyone riding the fence with 10 or 11 wins like they did 10 last year. Be better this year because they are better this year. They weren't playing like it. They were disappointing in the Colts game and in the Chargers game. Well, now it's a celebration because, again, not perfect, plenty of things to learn from, and that's what makes it kind of the perfect setup because you played well, you won going away, and you still have things to work on, as do the Denver Broncos. I like all of that from this team, and I like the fact that now momentum is not a cause, it's an effect. You need to take action and have positive momentum because there is negative momentum as well that the Broncos now have from beating up on the Cincinnati Bengals, and it is simply fantastic. So loved what the Broncos did. I think lots of chats coming in. Shay, is that right? Shay 84, back on track. Go Broncos. I think that's a great way to put it because you'd been disappointing and you'd been underachieving. Underachieving was my word for the Denver Broncos over the last couple of games. My word for the Colorado Buffaloes is unserious. but underachieving with the Denver Broncos. You went up against the Colts. You went up against the Chargers. You led every second of the fourth quarter until the very end, and then you lost both of those games. It was good tonight to come back and have this sort of win in this sort of manner. And I love to see that from the Denver Broncos. And M says right here, we should be undefeated. I could easily make the argument they should be undefeated. That's something where the Titans game is a little bit tougher, but week 1 is a liar. It's always a weird week. This game went as it should go because Cincinnati does not play defense and they're with a backup quarterback. And then the Colts game, I think the Colts are everybody's darling right now, but it's also week 4. The Chargers kind of everybody's darling right now, except it's week 4. So let's see this thing through the long haul. Kansas City, oh boy, I almost said something else. Kansas City is right there, and they're always going to be lurking. They're always going to be in the shadows. What's that old Undertaker meme where he's like coming up behind you? That's like Andy Reid at a Krispy Kreme where he's coming up behind you. You got to watch out. The big man is there. The Chiefs are always going to be there. Like this Broncos team needs to build this momentum, get up there, and continue to push for more wins. And that's what the Broncos are aiming to do now. The Philadelphia game looks much different. Philadelphia has been winning. They are undefeated, and they have been winning as ugly as you possibly can be. Not going to preview the Eagles game tonight, although I could. Going to talk about this game. Going to go over the good and the bad, the things to still work on. C. Prang 3 in the chat room says, is it too early for a Harvey Dobbins nickname? So chat room, let me know. And let me know what you think of a nickname for RJ and JK. And Devin, perfect. This is what we wanted to see. Momentum that is created. And the beautiful thing about football, and I thought this, well, the Colts game and the Chargers game both, is the Broncos fought in these games, hard fought, tight. They have the lead. I thought this as I watched the Broncos have success and the Colts or Chargers struggle. And then I watched this tonight, and I see the Broncos have success and then have a lack of success. And I thought, this is the beautiful thing about football. It's never going to be as planned, off-script plays. There's off-script game plans. There's off-script wins. There's off-script pretty much everything in football. You have to be that way. You have to operate that way. Set up a plan, have an operation going into a week. Sean Payton does that. But at the same time, understand and know, like Bo Nix, that block's not always going to be blocked. That edge guy who should be picked up by the running back. And by the way, RJ Harvey with some good pass protection tonight. Obviously, haven't gone over the coach's film. We'll do that. We'll talk about it with you on the Fan and on Orange and Blue today. The best Broncos coverage. We're the Fan. We're kicking ass double live gonzo. So yes, thank you all out there for watching Denver sports and listening to the Fan, getting us number one. Like, I love that, and I appreciate Broncos country. I love you guys out there for helping us do that and get on the top of the mountain where, of course, we are the Fan. The Broncos having the plan of execution and then being able to change, being able to go to something different, being able to be versatile because it's not always going to go your way. And when it doesn't, you need to make sure that that doesn't get you down. Isn't that life as well? And oh boy, I could get into some heavy stuff tonight. As everybody knows, I took the weekend off, had some family stuff dealing with. We're going to be fine, everybody. And thank you for your well wishes. I saw the chat do that in OBT on Thursday, I believe. But so anyway, like in football and in life, there's this impermanence to everything. And when you have good momentum, when you have positive momentum, there's also an impermanence to that. It's going to stop. And when it stops, then you have to know that it'll come back. You have to know that you will create it in coming back. Think about that, because this is the Broncos having success offensively, then it kind of going away. Then the passes are a little bit off from Bo Nix. Footwork again, off from Bo Nix. Even Troy Aikman said that on the broadcast, and that's why we all should believe in Bo Nix. But at the same time, we know that that young man still has things to clean up on, and that's what Troy Aikman highlighted. That's what we all have seen in the Colts and Chargers games. But I think this is beautiful and wonderful because it shows how you have to, as the Broncos did tonight, maintain your confidence even when things aren't going well, right? Even when things aren't going well, you have to maintain that they are going to go well. It's something I'm going to feel chatty and probably crunchy and maybe a little philosophical tonight, Broncos country. So you're in for one right here. Tell a friend, Orange Blue Today, Postgame Live right here. I remember great advice I had gotten from my mother, God rest her soul. And I gave it to my kids when they all left for college or beauty school. And I had said, everything's going to be okay. You just don't know it yet. And you have to have this confidence, as the Broncos did tonight. You see them coming through late. And honestly, it's JK. Really, if we break it down, like, who was that player? Who was that person you could look to? It wasn't always Bo. Bo had a really good game. Couple missed throws. We'll talk about it. But it was more JK to me. Who was the player on the Broncos offense that just simply wouldn't go away until he got his 100 yards and then he went to the bench? But, like, who was that player? That was JK Dobbins. That was the ground game. That's why Sean Payton needs to emphasize this. I said it on Dover and Cecil today. Can we Jake Plummer this thing up? Can we do that? Can we have some bootlegs, some rollouts? Can we get some action going with Bo Nix? And to do that, you have to run the ball. They're going to take away the middle of the field with Bo. They're going to force him to hit some pro throws, and Bo hit some pro throws today. And he can do more of this. Again, some of the deep shots, a little off, a little out in front again, Bover throws or whatever people are calling. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not that upset. But when you see him stick throws to Marvin Mims down the field, when you see Cortland Sutton split defenders, and when you see Bo Nix thread the needle and make that pro throw, it's not a stick route, but in the scouting community, they call it a stick throw. It's over the corner in front of the safety. That's a pro throw. You got to have balls of steel to make that throw, to have the courage to make that throw. Bo did that tonight. So it wasn't Bo always that was that confident and steady and momentum. It was JK Dobbins here. And when he's healthy, I look at angles in this great game, this beautiful game of football that we all love. Watch the coach's film and watch the angles of JK Dobbins. Study the geometry of how that young man runs. And listen, Madden is great. Madden's fun. It's the same every damn year, but whatever. I'm probably going to cuss on the show because I'm just feeling it. Feel great. Awesome win for the Broncos. But you know how Madden, you kind of curve when you run and you can't really like run at angles. Think of how SGA attacks the basket in basketball, minus the flopping, because the flopping is terrible. So apologies to all Thunder fans out there, but it's absolutely god awful. Even Manu Ginobili thinks that SGA flops too much. But like, you watch JK Dobbins and you see the cuts and you see the angles and you see the sharpness in what he does, the decisiveness in what he does, the certainty. I'm going to use a quote from Dion that I actually agree with, because it wasn't making fun of the media or talking about bull junk or trying to say what's an established quarterback or whatever. Certain. When JK Dobbins runs the ball and he gets that handoff from Bo Nix, he is certain about what he's going to do, even if the hole isn't there, the lane hasn't developed, or the play has been blown up. Say that 3 times fast. Been blown up, been blown up, been blown up, been blown up. JK Dobbins is so damn good because of those angles, because he will see something little, not Terrell Davis. Don't at me, bro. But you see that like TD where it's like, it's over here and he's focused here. His shoulders are this way. And somehow, some way is radar. I don't know if it's sonar. I don't exactly know what it is, but then all of a sudden he just knows, bam, over here. He'll even sidestep, do the Matador move like Marshall Faulk did. Super high praise for JK Dobbins. He's Terrell Davis and Marshall Faulk combined. I'm not going overboard, but I'm kind of going overboard because I just want y'all to know JK, I mean, top 10 back when he's healthy. If you could get this guy healthy, Bo Lowry, King Dingaling is what we call him on Dover and Cecil, the Broncos head trainer. If he can get JK Dobbins healthy, you can have a special back in Denver, and we know special backs. All of our buddies, Philip Lindsay. He was the last special back the Broncos had, and it's not the 1,000-yard thing. It's not the 1,000-yard thing. Phil didn't get going as a rookie, which is when he peaked, by the way, and I wrote that at denversports.com. Like, he peaked as a rookie, but he did that because they got him going in week 6, and then they fed him. Well, if he'd gotten going in week 1, then he would have had more. So with Phil being special, it wasn't because of he got 4 digits. It wasn't the 1,000 yards. It's the fact that when it's not blocked, you can make something happen. Mark Schlereth has always talked about it with Terrell Davis. And probably see Stink tomorrow. So I'll just ask him about it, because he's always talked about how TD, you'd block it for 4, TD'd get you 8. You'd block it for 3, TD'd get you 4. You blocked it for 0, TD'd get you 2. You get that same sort of feeling with JK Dobbins. Just keep him healthy. Just keep him healthy. And you love it. Connor says it in the chat room. Jason says King Dingling. That's from Bad Boys. Mike Lowry. That would be cool. Cliff, I will get to more. I love to hear myself talk. That is very true, Cliff. Absolutely true. Nice beard, by the way. Yeah, plenty of opportunities to voice your opinion throughout the week. Yes, I will interact with the chat more, but here's what I do on this show. And for some reason, people love it. Mainly when I lose my mind after a Broncos loss. This is a Broncos win, so I'm not losing my mind tonight. I'm not hurling in my trash can as I have previously on this show. Dolphins game a couple of years ago. Look it up. But I brain dump. Probably takes me about half an hour. Got 8 minutes left, Cliff. So hold on, buddy. And then I take comments from the chat room, and then I'm like way behind anyway. So that's how the show goes. Yes, I love to hear myself talk. Yes, I talk all the time. I talk so much. Let me brain dump. Let me do it. Cliff, baby, chill out. Smoke a beanie. Take a shot. Whatever. Like, however you enjoy things. To have your bottle of water, smart water. Like, baby, let me brain dump here. Don't mess up the brain dump. Don't mess up the flow. I flow it out. Wait, that sounds bad. Sounds like a UTI commercial or something. Like, I flow it out, and then I take your questions and comments from the chat. So chat, keep chatting chat amongst yourselves. And then let's talk more about JK Dobbins, because the decisiveness, the angles, the sharpness, the quick cuts, the vision. That's what I was trying to bring up on the vision. My buddy Pot Stoner Degenerate Jason. What's up, Jason? Up there in Garden City. That vision from JK Dobbins. And I was going to bring that up, and I got distracted by Cliff. Cliff, you distracted me. Anyway, so it's like, I absolutely love the vision from JK Dobbins. He can do it again. In fact, if he had as many as 4 100-yard rushing games, I wouldn't be surprised. If that was more, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I projected him earlier this year at about 700 yards rushing, over 1,000 all-purpose yards, and then the same thing roughly for RJ Harvey, and it's coming with RJ. I said week 6. I'm still judging him. I'm so judgy, but I'm also watching, and I'm knowing that a running back like Phillip Lindsay, like Clinton Portis didn't get going until week 6. I'm not going to lose my mind if Omarion Hampton has 100 yards and RJ Harvey does not. I'm not going to lose my mind if RJ Harvey isn't quite where he needs to be. And then in week 6, that's actually when things should come around for the rookie. And it looked good tonight. It can look good going forward as well for the Denver Broncos. But JK Dobbins, absolutely fantastic, amazing, and you love to see it. You love to see it. And you absolutely love, there's my sister Carrie saying brain dump. That's right. Broncos winning tonight. Everybody feeling good. Bo Nick's feeling good. And I love that they got the ground game going. This is Broncos football. Sean Payton had talked about identity, and he said, we haven't done it yet, but I believe we will real soon. So I ask you in the chat, I'm going to ask this tomorrow on YouTube as well on Dover and Cecil, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Y'all have made us number 1, so thank you. It feels incredible. I've never been part of a show that was number 1. So to be now there with my man Josh Dover, our guy Kevin Kistner, Drew Spivak running the show, like, you guys have done it. So thank you. It feels so good. Feels so good to have the Broncos back to what they are, who they are. And for whatever reason, I'm doing the Lion King thing way too much. Like, remember who you are. Remember who you are. You are a damn great defense. Think of Broncos football. Just step back. Broncos football. Defense, ground game. And yes, 2013, the best offense in NFL history. Didn't win anything. Didn't win a championship, I should say, because Super Bowl 48 sucked. But who are you? What do you stand for? What do you want to be? And Sean Payton saying like, hey, we haven't had our identity yet, but we're going to show it pretty soon. If this is what it is, I'll take it. If this is what it is, I will take it. Aaron says we still upset Bo threw the ball 42 times. Bo Nix tonight, 29 of 42, 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. You love it. 38 rushes, 42 passes. Balance, Daniel San. Aaron San. Balance. What did I say? 38 rushes as a team, and then 42 passes. Perfect. This league is about 60-40 pass now. I think it's 55-45, but still, it's over 50% pass, 50% spits. Looney Tunes, look it up. For me, it's like 42 times. Yeah, but he ran it 38 times. Like they're fine. If it was 42 times in a loss to a garbage Bengals team, because they're garbage, everybody. I mean, no offense, but you're hot, stinky garbage, Cincinnati. Trust me, I was there for the Flying Pig Marathon back in April. Whenever that was. Yeah, not a fan of Cincinnati. Sorry. The city, people are great, whatever. But like, no, Cincy, you are hot, stinky garbage. You are terrible at football. You're a bad football team. You don't have what you need. You overpaid your wide receivers. Like, just terrible, tragic if you're a Bengals fan. Like, it's just the Broncos did what they're supposed to do against a bad team. And I feel great about what they've done in the way that they've done it. Because Broncos football is back. The Mile High Magic, which I said last year had returned. You can feel it. You felt it tonight. You felt it through the TV. It was radiating. Even when Joe Buck was making a call that sounded like he was ordering Subway. I would like a 6-inch cold cut trio on wheat, please. No, Italian, says Joe Buck, who's fantastic. He's fine. But I look at the Broncos being back, the Mile High Magic being back, the ground game being back, the defense being back, all for momentum. Bo Nix is going to be all right, everybody. And I love it. And I think this is awesome for the momentum it can build. Philadelphia is going to be tough. I have it as a loss, full disclosure. But the way Philadelphia has played is different than the way I had thought they were going to play this year. Because, well, mistakenly and probably foolishly, I thought Philadelphia just, it's the Martin Lawrence. You so crazy, deranged. Can you do what you did earlier, please? Like, yeah, that's what I thought Philadelphia would do. And they're not. Now they're undefeated, but they're as ugly as, I don't have any dump button on this show. I almost said dog, you know what, but like they're absolutely just ugly wins. Now they're all wins, but they're ugly with Philadelphia. The Broncos, they have a chance to get this one from Philadelphia, give them their first loss of the season. But they did that because of the way that they played tonight. And again, if they had won tonight and it was 28-27, I'd be like, okay, oh my God, get your heart medication ready. I would have thought, all right, it's a win, but man, a bad team should have never been able to hang with you. And they didn't. The first drive for Cincinnati did kind of make me a little bit nervous. I don't like responding to fear. It's the reptilian part of our brain as I get crunchy tonight. I don't like responding to fear because it's a low level vibration. It's bad energy. And it's the easiest way to get us to react. Look at the fear mongering that's done pretty much everywhere. But on that first drive, I did have a sensation of like, oh God, that was too easy. Now it was just 3 points, but still it was too easy. But like in a boxing match, the Broncos defense kind of feeling them out, right? Seeing what you can do. What are you going to try here? T. Higgins, 3 for 32. Riley Moss, everybody. Riley Moss. I mean, Everybody needs to give it up to Riley Moss. You kidding me? Are you kidding me with Riley Moss? And to see the advanced data, now this is where the nerd stuff comes in. So I'm going to get crunchy tonight. I'm going to quote Looney Tunes, Bad Boys. I don't think I've done Half Baked. Near the beach, boy. There, Half Baked is done. I'm going to do some things, right? There's a checklist, a Cecil Lammey bingo you can play. Well, part of that bingo includes merely this. I'm going to get nerdy. And I'm going to tell you that while he's the second most targeted corner in the league, Riley Moss also has the least amount of separation per route run. Second least. Amount of separation per route run. It's 2.8 yards. Now, that's a lot, but that's still not even average. It's well above average. And in fact, the second best in the league. So, and listen, I had plenty of questions about Riley. I appreciate Riley's game. I've said that he could be a starter somewhere else. I've definitely had egg on my face this year with the way Riley Moss has been picked on. But again, it's not about me or whatever. I hate when people do that. Well, I said this. Well, nobody gives a crap. I have to be very careful without cussing. With Riley Moss, though, you have to look at it and go, wait a second. Look at the data. Look at what he gets. Look at how he's the second most targeted guy in the NFL. You're going to go after him. Even though they're trying to funnel stuff towards Pat, it's not really working. Well, anything Jake Browning did tonight really didn't work other than that first drive. T. Higgins, 3 for 32. Jamar Chase, 5 for 23. A long of 10, 8 targets, 6 targets for T. Higgins. So Pat Surtain did his thing. Riley Moss did his thing. Jaquan McMillan did his thing. And it was awesome out there for the Denver Broncos. And yeah, I think we all got to give it up to Riley, man. Give it up to Nick. Give it up to JFM. Give it up to Zach Allen. Give it up to the Coop, Jonathan Cooper, Jonah Ellis, doing some good things. I'll go back and watch, see what Dondre Tillman did. I thought my man Savion Jones was, active in the middle. There was a couple almost sacks. There was a couple of pressures. So he should get credit for that. But Savion Jones, he's got star potential. This is a player you have to watch. You have to see Savion Jones in the future. He could be a Pro Bowl player for this Broncos team. It's absolutely outstanding effort from this Broncos defense. Yes, Cincinnati sucks. Okay. They're a terrible football team, backup quarterback, all that, everything I've already said. Okay. But this Broncos team came out and they dominated, and it was simply and fantastically, if that's even a word, glorious. Now, after 33 minutes of ranting, now, Cliff, I'm going to get to the chat room. I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes chatting with you. So again, let me brain dump, let me flow, and then I'm going to hear from you because I want to know what you guys thought of this game. And I want to know what you guys thought of Bo Nix specifically. Are you dunking on the Bo Nix haters? Please tell me yes. Just lie to me. I don't care. I know I will be. So I hope you are too. Join me in making fun of people that thought Bo Nix was no good. So that's what you got. That's what you got tonight. So let me know in the chat room. I'm scrolling down to the bottom so I can get the recent comments. And then DMC, you're going to bed? What? All right. Mace is actually at the stadium. So Mace can't join the show because he's doing his own thing at the stadium and doing some post-game videos here as well. So that was awesome. Let's see. Cliff. Okay, Cliff. Cliff says Bo was great. He forced the INT because he didn't want a second rush TD. That interception, again, it was 4th down. It's not a big deal for me. Not a big deal for me in what Bo Nix did in that moment. Do I want him to play a clean game? Yes, I do. But as long as they get the win and a big win, I'm fine with that. Ashley Watson says he still makes me nervous when he scrambles like Auburn Bo. And Auburn Bo is still there, even with the poor footwork and some happy feet at times. And again, you still saw that tonight, just a little bit. And it's not nitpicking Bo. It's just being honest about Bo's performance. Even he would be honest. The most critical person of Bo Nix is Bo Nix. So, I think that there are times when he does make you nervous. Bo Nix haters wear diapers. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Jason, Nick's to Sutton throw was a rocket. And again, pro throws, stick throws, not stick routes, but stick throws where it's like, I'm going to fit it in. The safety isn't going to have enough time. The safety even saw that on the Sutton play specifically. The safety sees it. He almost sees it as Bo's going to go to Sutton. But because Bo has held him long enough and made him move, again, everything in football is geometry and influence. So with the geometry of it, I'm just going to hold you in that spot or make you move a little bit with my eyes because I know I've got Sutton here and I've got to be able to make that throw. So it's Bo creating his space as a passer and then being able to hit that stick throw to Sutton. And again, he did it twice in this contest. Those are pro level, big boy, big ball throws. That's what Bo Nix was able to do. So you love to see that. Tommy says this. What's up, Tommy? Tommy's one of the good guys out there. Tommy Guns, 5280. Bo looked comfortable way earlier than he did last year. Remember last year in week 4, it was the damn Jets game. It's coming after the Tampa game. They go to West Virginia because Sean Payton discovered West Virginia. And, you know, it was a downpour. I was there with Mace. It was miserable. Mace and I had a really good time because we're very close and so thankful for your audience. But like just awful time. We're sitting in a tent with water in the tent because it was a literal downpour and just there was rain, couldn't go anywhere. So we sat in a tent with Mike Cliss and got soaked and set in mud puddles, basically. So the Broncos had that set up for us. Probably could have done it a little differently. But last year we see, okay, week 4, Jets game. I mean, it took a while just for him to throw a touchdown pass. And in that downpour, when the rain went away, then he was able to hit Cortland Sutton. And so that's when the ball started rolling. Bo looked comfortable way earlier than he did last year. And Tommy, I will add this as well. In this game, it was really an impetus, an establishment, a mantra, if you will, to get Bo Nix going as soon as possible as a passer. And that comfort level, you saw that. Zesty says we love Bo Nix. That's right. Line him up, Zesty. Everybody loving Bo Nix. Love him up. Love him up. Who needs a hug? You want to hug it out? That's what I'm going to tell Mike Evans. I'm going to say, I won't say it on air because, you know, I don't want to get in trouble, but it's the B word. I'm going to go to Mike Evans and I'm going to be like Ari Gold. You want to hug it out? B? Mike Evans? Huh? Jarrett Stidham? Huh? You want to talk about that? Huh? Shh. It's not. No. Shh. That's right. Caleb with a great one here. I love this, Caleb. JK runs like Le'Veon Bell. Very few running backs can do that. In fact, it was one of the things coming out of Michigan State. I wasn't the biggest fan of Le'Veon Bell. And it was because that flat-footed style of like, I'm just going to stop, let everything kind of move, and then I'm going to go. Like flat-footed, like completely stop. It's almost like Ashton Genty doing his, what is that, Halloween Michael Myers pose in the backfield where he's just standing up, right? Like I look at this and I go, JK like Le'Veon Bell because you have that stop, start, stop, start, vision here, angles here, rushing here, power here. I like that. Caleb, I'm going to steal that from you. I give it a quarter every time I say it. So if you see me out at a tribe meetup at a Nuggets game, I'll probably owe you $1. Anyway, runs like Le'Veon Bell. Love that. Thank you for joining us here on Orange and Blue today. There you go. Kenny says, thoughts on Luke Wattenberg? I think he just had one of those bad games everyone has once in a while. The penalties were a killer. This game had some boredom to it because of the officials and because of all of the mistakes that were getting called all night long. It was preposterous. I know a lot of people want to replace Luke Wattenberg, just like straight up. Whether it's Alex Forsyth, whether it's a draft pick, I'm not familiar, but I can be familiarized with the free agent center class next year. Usually when you have a great center, you don't let him go unless you do like John Elway did and try to get Matt Paradis on the cheap. Matt Paradis is not happy with John Elway. But anyway, Lloyd Cushenberry just couldn't afford because of Russell Wilson. I think the biggest sin of Russell Wilson was, one, the wasted time that you had. And then 2, the fact that you couldn't keep Lloyd Cushenberry. Lloyd! It's my second Ari Gold reference. That you couldn't keep Cushenberry because of the Wilson deal, and you had to let him go. But Cush also wasn't Cush until his final year. Now we're there with Wattenberg, and it needs to look better. I mean, just point blank period, just honestly, like it needs to look better. If we were to grade all the offensive line, and we'll see what the grades are from the super nerds on the Broncos offensive line, but it would be Wattenberg who graded the lowest. Like Ben Powers, starting in the Colts game, has had a better turnaround than, let's say, he did week 1 against the Titans. So with Wattenberg, I understand that that's something fans want different, but the honest truth is you're going to take the entirety of this season and we're going to judge him after the regular season, essentially, and after the postseason, whenever this team is done, and hopefully that's the Super Bowl. But that's with Wattenberg. You have to give a center that much time. It took that much time for Lloyd Cushenberry. It's going to take that much time for Luke Wattenberg, or you're just going to have to have a different plan. Again, not everything goes as planned. And remember, the impermanence. Luke Wattenberg is the starting center for now. We'll see. We'll see. Sports rambling. I'm the one that's rambling here. Man, if RJ doesn't take his foot off the gas on the dart from Bo, he houses that ball, and Bo's numbers are even more incredible. Sports rambling, exactly on the money. RJ taking the foot off the gas, Bo with the throw, and Bo's numbers would have been better if Troy Franklin hadn't dropped a couple. There were some passes that got away from the receivers. Now, Bo could have been a little bit more on the money, and obviously I'm watching his feet. His feet were better for the most part, couple plays, whatever. But also, there's times when receivers don't do enough. I will go back and I'll kind of ding Bo for this one. The first Evan Ingram play on the left side of the formation, when he rolls out to his left, he's got Ingram right in front of him. He just should let it go. Just throw it. And then Ingram would have plenty of space to work the sideline, maybe make a guy miss, and maybe score. But instead, he holds it. He should have thrown it. He takes another couple steps, and then he throws it. And Ingram's out of bounds because he couldn't get that second foot down. That's on Bo. So there was some throws where the receivers dropped it. That could have been big plays. Bo could have had 400 yards. And there's a play like this one from RJ where if you don't lift the foot off the gas, that's a score. RJ Harvey, there's something there. I'm just telling you. There's something there with this kid. You love the fight that he has. You love the fact that he won't go down easily. You love the fact that he's always bursting. He's always fighting. Now he's compact. Guys are kind of, throw him around a little bit, but he's compact. So you feel good about his ability to kind of stay, healthy enough. Not a little guy that's getting squashed. And then that causes troubles in terms of injury. Oracle says less plays for Troutman and Adkins, please. More Evan Ingram would be great. Osbaldo. See, now this guy gets it. Or Lipuez, Osbaldo. I would say Cortland Sutton looking like A.T. Perry out there. LOA, JK Dobbins. Yes. Blue Horse Construction. Did you make Blucifer? Bo had a game, but Cincy is different from Philly. Yeah, Cincy's terrible. Philly's undefeated. So it's a big difference. Different. Run the ball and you win. SM Super Strat says that. And they don't run the ball. Sean proved us right. Run the ball and you win. Cliff says Sutton was more impactful than Dobbins, in my opinion. Sutton was on the good side of those Bo's throws, and he did a good job with it. For me, Cliff, I would just go back and say it starts with the ground game. You don't have the same opportunities. You don't have the same looks. Remember, influence. Everything's about influence. You run the ball, you're going to influence the defense. You're going to influence on that play action pass. You're going to influence just by sucking them up closer to the line of scrimmage. So it's a good, healthy debate, but I will disagree agreeably. There you go. The 3J, sorry, but it sounds better to say the 3J, honestly. I just changed your username right now. Did what they were supposed to and gain confidence for Philly next week. That's right, the 3J. You did exactly what you're supposed to do. And that needs to be celebrated, by the way. Now, I haven't seen much of it because, again, I rant and I brain dump for a half an hour, and then I look at the chat room. I try to catch up feverishly. So I haven't seen much of it. But God bless America. Why? And it's not about blue ribbons. Don't give me that James Harrison. Get out of here with these participation trophies. But when you have a dog crap team like the Bengals, you know what you do? You beat them down. And that's exactly what the Broncos did. So that should be praised. Again, we're not going overboard. Broncos are going undefeated the rest of the way. No, but I'd like it if they won, 11 more games. What's the math? Yeah, something like that. 11. So, yes, we'll talk about it. We'll understand that it was Cincinnati, but I like the way the 3J put it. They did what they were supposed to do. Exactly. Because if they didn't, we'd be talking about Bo Nix's footwork, and we'd be nitpicking the Troy Franklin hands. We'd be nitpicking the Riley Moss let one throw by him. Like, we would be nitpicking Alex Singleton can't get to the hole like he used to. He'll get there, and then a guy will make a move, and he'll struggle to adjust and turn to that speed. So the 3J, thanks for letting me change your username. And yes, they did what they were supposed to, and that needs to be celebrated. And that's right. I like this from Matt Rodriguez. Caso Benito gives me almost Vaughn vibes. That's right. I love that. I love the fact that you see some Von Miller vibes. A little bit different. Vaughn was he was better as a run defender and a little more freakish. Like Nick Benito is a great pass rusher. Von Miller is an all-time great pass rusher. And that's where the difference is. Like, you have a great player in Nick Benito, and you have a Hall of Fame player in Von Miller. Again, hopefully Nick Benito will get there. I'm glad he's giving you Von vibes, Matt. But, there's levels to these things. David thinks I'm a sad sycophant. Wow, David. Why are you down? Are you okay, David? I hope you are. Home win streak continues. That's right, Cody. I love that. I love that. The home win streak, the home cooking, mile high magic, all back in action. Andy asked, where were Court rank in top receivers at the end of the year? If he was in top 10, that wouldn't be surprising. And I know some people say, like, he's not a number one, which I think is lame. He's not Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, but what did Jamar Chase do tonight? Again, Jake Browning, I know. But still, like, because he's not, well, Malik Neighbors before the injury, because he's not like this freakish LSU wide receiver, basically. People take issue with that. Cortland Sutton, for damn sure, is a number one receiver in this league. I mean, I just stop. Full stop. He's not the elite level Justin Jefferson, okay? Oh, God. But how many guys are Justin Jefferson? I just named 2 other guys. So 3 total. Those are your 3 guys. And that's it. Okay, so he's not a top 3 receiver, but he's a top 10 receiver. So where those numbers going to be? I'd say in the top 10. Bo gets going like this. I'd say Cortland can get in that top 10, and I would love to see it. Love to see it. Bobby says, JK looks amazing when he runs. He really looks like a real deal. He's so good. What a pickup, man. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing tonight, Bobby, on one of the JK runs where I was like, it's good to have a special back like that, because when healthy, and that's the one problem. Now, it's a big problem. Availability is a skill. But he is among the top 10 in the NFL. And listen, this isn't a Javonte thing. I'm glad people are excited for Javonte. I'm glad Javonte is having success with Dallas. I look at it and go, Javonte, because of that knee, would probably never be a top 10 back in the NFL. JK, even with his knee, could be a top 10 back. So think of what he would have been without all the injuries. If he'd been on a staff that had understood how to get him right and how he himself would have gotten right. And I think of the Chargers, of course, before that with the Ravens, but I just look at it and go, JK Dobbins is a special back. These are great, great things for the Denver Broncos. Sharon, what's up, Sharon? She says too many unnecessary flags. That's right. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Sean says, what up, Cease? Can't wait to hear you with Dover tomorrow. When do you think JK and RJ will both rush for 100 yards in a single game? Great job, brother. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you very much. I thought it was going to be tonight. I was kind of hoping it was tonight. I was kind of hoping it was like, hey, they're both going to get it done. It's going to be awesome. Tube viewer says, yeah, Troy drops the ball a little too much. it comes and goes, right? It comes and goes. Troy Franklin, he's going to be fantastic. He's going to be great for this team. There's going to be times we're going to have some drops, and we're all going to have to deal with it. So again, it's my job to analyze. It's your job to be a fan. Let's all be fans of Troy Franklin. How about that? You know what I mean? And just along the way, know there's going to be some drops, but there's also going to be some big plays. And he, as Osvaldo says, keeps getting better. And that is awesome. Creaky says, I was wrong. You were right. Or is that the Riley Moss thing? It's interesting, Creaky, because we had learned, I saw Creaky before I went out of town on Friday, and we talked about Riley Moss about 20 minutes, getting some beautiful breakfast burritos at the old Valero in Roxborough, beautiful Roxborough, Colorado. What's up, Creaky? And we talked about 20 minutes about Riley Moss and the way he defends guys. So it's interesting because Creaky, I learned the advanced data, I think either that night or maybe it was Sunday, but sometimes. So we can talk about that next time I see you. I'll get you a burrito. So there you go. Comfort for Bo. It's something we talked about earlier, Johnny, but that's exactly right. When he sets his feet, he's good. Johnny with the perfect comment right there. He sets his feet. He's good to go. He's good to go. And that's what you love to see from Bo Nix. So just get him right. And then he'll get the passes where he needs to get them. He'll get them where they need to be. You'll be happy with what Bo Nix does in these contests going forward. That's for sure. Neo says Franklin and Mims need to work on ball handling. Roger reminds us that second-year Josh Allen got all the same criticisms. Yeah, Josh Allen, clean up the feet. Stop playing hero ball. You don't have to do everything yourself. Creaky says the slightly used Troy Franklin is playing better. He will continue to improve. I like that, Creaky. I like that a lot. The brutal drop, Cyril Strainer, personal trainer. I like that. The alliteration. It's awesome. The brutal drops were brutal. That's right. Dan says Sutton is poor man's Megatron, and I can live with and love that. I like that. Great way to end the half. Great way to run it and end the game. Great time to be a Broncos fan. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. And again, Tommy's one of the good guys out there. Absolutely fantastic. Doesn't call me a sycophant like that one guy. Kelly V says positive vibes all abound the Mile High City. We've got vibes left and right. We are ready to go and ready for the Eagles. Devin saying Bo won me my fantasy team. Thanks, Bo. Thank you, Bo. God bless Bo Nix, right? That's what Tony Scheffler said. And he said, I'm going to the bar with Jay Cutler all the time when he was here. So God bless Bo Nix. And that's right. Team will have it all. They can. They proved it tonight. They can do everything. And that's the thing. And I know Cincinnati, they suck, whatever. But they can run the ball. Dangerous. Sean Payton said, where's my, I've got it right here. Hold, please. My Bo Leave shirt. You better believe. I should get Mike Evans one. Do they make him in 5X? I kid, Mike. I kid. We give each other grief on the airwaves because we're good buddies. Bo Leave, right? Bo Leave. Here. Bo Leave. Bo Leave. You gonna Bo Leave? You gonna Bo Leave? Look at what it says on the back. Look at what it says on the back. We're going to be a problem. That's right. We're going to be a problem. If this team runs the ball like that, because they can do that again. It's not just Cincinnati sucks, and they do suck. The Broncos can run the ball like this. They can run the hell out of the ball. They can beat the hell out of teams. They can soften you up. They can make you tired. They can wear you out, and they can set up Bo Nix for play action passing. They can run. They can throw. They've got the receivers. Great to see Evan Ingram do more tonight. You know, want to see the Joker out there. The joke's on you, Sean Payton. Durr. Evan Ingram, 4 for 29. Okay. A little more would be nice. You know, maybe a little less Troutman, a little less Adkins, a little more Evan Ingram. Him and Bo aren't quite on the same page yet, as I talked about. But you want to see this continue to grow. I'm super okay with what Evan Ingram did tonight. Super incredible. I'm very fine with that. And Craig says, Bo Leavers rejoice. Been proven. I cast out the demons. And Bo Nix playing good football. Look like Bo, man. Look like Bo. Coco. Talk about one of the good ones. Coco. Incredible dude. Run the ball, Sean Payton. Run the ball. That's right. What is it? That'll do, pig. Although then that means I would be an old farmer and Sean Payton would be a pig. He would be Babe. I just called Sean Payton Babe. That's right. You never know what's going to happen on the Orange and Blue post-game live. Beavis says, cease real question. Trade deadline November 4th. Any chance they trade Jaleel for a tight end or an ILB? Beavis, I will say this very politely. Jaleel's not going to get you much. Okay. And I feel Jaleel should have been active for at least one of these games. Bidet can do more, but there are things that like Jaleel and Marvin could do, and Marvin does it from farther away because Marvin is faster. Marvin's just faster and better than every player on the Broncos. He's an incredible asset for this team. But I look at Jaleel and I go, okay, they like him, they don't love him. You know, he hasn't been active in a month. And because of that, respectfully to your question, I do believe it is a good question. You should always be looking to upgrade your team and looking to trade. And maybe you trade a future 4th rounder or something. But Jaleel McLaughlin would not get you anything. And I'm not being facetious or what did that guy call me? A sycophant? Okay. Yeah, I just you'd get I don't want to be mean, but you would get absolutely nothing for Jaleel. Come to me with a different player that you might think of trading, and I'd have a different answer for you. But I like where your head's at, just not with Jaleel. You're not going to get anything for Jaleel. He would return you nothing. Dan says, haven't missed an OBT in a year. Awesome, because OBT is ABFD. Daughter says, don't at me, bro. Daily. Thanks, Cease. Exactly. Don't at me, bro. Cease, what did you think about Bonito's 6-7 celebration? There you go. That was awesome for Nick Bonito to do that. I still want him to grab his crotch. I don't know why I was obsessed with crotches today because we're talking about being old because Dover feels like an old man because he's 41. I said, you're not an old man until the smoke crotch comes in. And then I talked about Nick Bonito grabbing his crotch, and there was one other crotch reference. I can't remember what that was, but I was obsessed with crotches today. I'm not sure why. I apologize if you're offended, but as I often say, get as offended as you like. So, yeah, there you go. The 6-7 celebration, awesome. Grabbing your crotch, that would have been awesome too. That's just me. Yeah, the flags, Sharon again on the flags. Yep, that's it. Yeah, Juan, I saw that. Harvey dropped that wide open pass. Bo looked pissed, and I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay with him yelling at Lucas Kroll. Now, at the same time, when a guy gets open and Bo misses them, like Bo's going to be mad at himself, which is good. The Shaunathon, a win is a win. That's right. I love this from Kelly V. Sertan is now matched up against Chase on 54 career routes and allowed 4 receptions for 35 yards. That is elite. Dan says, I'm a middle school teacher. 6-7 is everywhere. That's right. That's right. And JK Creaky says Bo's footwork looked a little better. That's right. Tell Nick Wright. The interesting thing about Nick Wright, Cliff, I'll speak a little behind the scenes. And I don't know Nick Wright. I know people that know him. And, of course, like Mark Schler's been around him. Super, super nice dude. And on the air, you'll be shocked to know he does like an act. And he's a Chiefs fan, so he's a total homer. I think Chris Collinsworth would, like, you know, be improper with Pat Mahomes before Nick Wright would. Because Chris Collinsworth is weird about Pat Mahomes. Don't be weird. Cop Talk's weird. Like, it's Bridesmaids. Look it up. Anyway, so like the little secret about Nick Wright is like he's a really good dude and he puts on an act. Shocker, you're on fake ESPN. You're gonna try to get viewers by putting on an act. So whatever. Tommy says, thanks. Keep on rocking. Will do. Appreciate you. That is true. Dave says, I still believe in Bo. Dave, Bo appreciates you. And so does Broncos country. Penalty yards, Shaunathon says that's right. Knicks wasn't the primary reason they dropped those 2 games. It was the penalty yards. Like, you can't have those sort of penalties and win games against that level of opponent. This level of opponent is different because, again, the Bengals are not good at football. So there you go. JK with the phenomenal vision. I love that. And it looked good. And you like to see more of it. More of it. And I think I just quoted John Elway from The Masked Singer. All right, we got an hour in, everybody. I'm on the air in less than 12 hours. So I will be wrapping this thing up. And see you on Dover and Cecil. That is on our Denver Sports YouTube, the individual show. We also have a clip that goes up at night at 7 p.m. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And Dover and I will jump in the comments and we'll talk to you right there here on our YouTube channel. And I love that. I love that. I love the interaction that we get here on YouTube. So thank you very much. Shaunathon says the go-to post game, especially when they win. I think more people like it when they lose, and then I lose my mind. Joey, who again, Joey's one of the good ones, knows ball. He says, we didn't look Philly ready. Not going to lie. Philly doesn't look Philly ready. This is not a Philly show, but Philly doesn't look Philly ready. So, Joey, I'm going to get up north and grab a brew with you sometime. That's for sure. Thong crotch. I might have brought up. There's a reason where crotchety old man. I'm stealing that one too. What was the name of your boss, Cecil? Which one? At 7-Eleven, when I was 18, it was Rachel Chappell. She was nice to me, although she made me take stud off of my time card because she was like, your name's not Stud. Stop signing your name Stud. And I was like, but my nickname's Stud because I was 18 and a moron. And some people would say I'm still a moron. Let me see. At the machine shop, it was Bob Wiedersberg, who was a Chiefs fan and told me I was ridiculous for thinking that I would have a radio show. So, Bob. Anyway, my sister's going to love that. He was in our fantasy league, and of course, he took all the Chiefs. Has Priest Holmes been taken? Anyway, let's see. And of course, I've had various radio bosses. My current radio boss right now is Amanda Brown, and she's awesome. And appreciate her and her guidance and her wisdom and her insight when it comes to running the station. And, you know, we're the fan, where everybody wants to be. I've been on air for 20 years, and I don't care what anyone else says because they're lying. You want to be on the fan, period. And that's a fact. And I've been on KOA in the early days, the 760 The Zone days. Yeah, you definitely want to be on the fan. And it's fantastic to be there. And again, for Orange and Blue today and what we've done on our YouTube channel and getting over 20,000 subscribers basically in a year. I mean, that's on you guys. That's on the response from Broncos country. So thank you. The Dover and Cecil thing being number one. I love that, man. I know some people out there don't love it, but they're going to be all right. Because we're going to be on top because you guys in Broncos country have responded and you've reacted in a positive manner to our show, and it feels great. And I appreciate each and every one of you out there for that. So going to wrap up the show tonight and say thank you, guys. Roport saying I'm a good one. I do in a pinch, you know. I do in a pinch. Amanda rocks. Yes, she does. Good person. So there you go. All right, great win, says Quentin. I love it. And Savion, see, I should just be doing the show the rest of the night because I could keep talking about the Broncos the rest of the night. Cody says you guys put in the effort, keep it up. You guys are the ones that are responding because, and we've talked about it on the air before, and maybe the suits don't like when we talk about it, but they'll be all right. If we don't perform, we get fired. Period. So I hate to put it that succinctly, but it's just like, and you know, it's an interesting business that I have chosen to be in. It's good to be on top. I want to stay on top. So that's where you guys come in and telling a friend, tell them about Dover and Cecil, tell them about the tribe, tell them about Orange Blue Today, tell them about our Denver Sports YouTube channel. Like, just keep spreading that word, man. We love it. We love Denver sports. Super excited about Nuggets Media Day. That was today. We're going to talk plenty of Nuggets. Probably going to go to 30 games again this year. Like, we're here, man. We're ready. We're awesome. Ready to stay frosty, as my man Anderson says here as well. So thank you all very much. And touchdown, Bo Nix. Touchdown, Bo Nix, the real one. thank you guys again. And Sharon says like, comment, share, subscribe. Never miss a vid. Again, check out Andrew Mason's postgame clip, which will be up on all of our Denver sports socials. And let's go, Tribe. We'll see you tomorrow on Tribe Check-In starting at 10 a.m. Orange and Blue today, postgame live. That's a wrap. Here's a weird Mike Patton graphic that I love. Stay tuned and stay frosty.